Exploring brine pools, toxic lakes on the ocean floor. Deep beneath the ocean's surface lies one of the most mysterious and extreme environments on Earth, brine pools. These strange underwater lakes are so salty and dense that they form separate bodies of water on the ocean floor, creating toxic yet fascinating ecosystems. Scientists call them the lakes of the deep sea, because they look like actual lakes with their own shorelines, waves, and currents, despite being under thousands of meters of water. But what exactly are brine pools? Why are they so deadly? And how do some creatures manage to survive in these extreme conditions? Let's dive into the secrets of these underwater toxic lakes. What are brine pools? A brine pool is a super salty, hypersaline lake that forms on the ocean floor. The water inside these pools is much denser and heavier than normal seawater because of its extremely high salt concentration. In some cases, brine pools contain 5 times more salt than regular ocean water. Key characteristics of brine pools. White heavy checkmark extremely salty water, so dense that objects and animals float on its surface. White heavy checkmark high toxicity. Contains toxic gases like methane and hydrogen sulfide, making it deadly for most marine life. White heavy checkmark separate from ocean water, forms a distinct lake with its own waves and surface tension. White heavy checkmark found in deep oceans, located thousands of meters below the surface, usually near underwater volcanoes or ancient salt deposits. Scientists often compare brine pools to alien environments, making them exciting locations for research. How do brine pools form? Brine pools are created through a fascinating geological process that takes millions of years. They form in areas where large deposits of ancient salt are buried beneath the seafloor. Over time, this salt mixes with water and rises through cracks in the ocean floor, creating a dense, salty layer of water that doesn't mix with normal seawater. Common ways brine pools form. Small blue diamond evaporated ancient seas. Some brine pools come from old oceans that dried up millions of years ago, leaving behind thick salt layers. Over time, these layers got buried under sediment, and pressure forced salty water back up through cracks. Small blue diamond underwater volcanoes and hydrothermal activity. Some brine pools form near deep-sea volcanic vents, where hot mineral-rich water escapes from beneath the Earth's crust. Small blue diamond tectonic plate movements. Shifting plates sometimes expose buried salt deposits, allowing brine to mix with ocean water and create these unique lakes. Because of their unusual formation, brine pools are often found in places like the Gulf of Mexico, the Red Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea. What makes brine pools so dangerous? Brine pools are known as death pools because of their toxic and hostile environment. Any marine creature that accidentally enters a brine pool has little chance of survival. Deadly features of brine pools. Skull and crossbones extreme salinity. The high salt content pulls water out of cells, causing dehydration and death in most marine life. Skull and crossbones lack of oxygen. The water inside brine pools contains very little oxygen, making it impossible for most fish and animals to breathe. Skull and crossbones toxic chemicals. Brine pools are often rich in methane and hydrogen sulfide, which are poisonous gases that can suffocate marine creatures. Skull and crossbones dense water barrier. Because brine is so much heavier than normal seawater, it creates a sharp barrier that animals cannot escape once they enter. Scientists have found dead crabs and fish lying just outside brine pools, proving how dangerous these lakes are for most marine creatures. Can anything survive in a brine pool? Despite being a toxic environment, some extreme life forms have adapted to survive in brine pools. These organisms are called extremophiles, meaning they thrive in extreme conditions where most life would perish. Survivors of the brine pool, microbacteria and archaea, special salt-loving microbes, halophiles, live in the brine and feed on methane and sulfur. Brine crabs and mussels. Some deep-sea crabs and mussels live around the edges of brine pools, feeding on bacteria. Deep-sea fish. A few hardy fish, like eelpouts and hagfish, sometimes get close to brine pools but never enter. Seedling tube worms. These creatures survive by forming partnerships with bacteria that convert toxic chemicals into energy. These unique organisms give scientists clues about how life might survive on other planets, like Jupiter's moon Europa, which has salty oceans beneath its ice-covered surface. What do scientists learn from brine pools? Scientists explore brine pools using remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, and deep-sea submersibles to learn more about. Microscope the origins of life. Studying extreme life forms helps scientists understand how the first life on Earth may have survived. Flying saucer alien environments. Brine pools resemble conditions found on icy moons and planets, helping researchers search for extraterrestrial life. Globe showing Europe-Africa climate change clues. Since brine pools contain methane, studying them helps scientists understand how greenhouse gases affect Earth's climate. Factory energy exploration. Some brine pools are rich in natural gas, making them useful for energy research. By studying these deep-sea lakes, scientists uncover hidden secrets of our planet and prepare for future space exploration. Fun facts about brine pools. Droplets. Some brine pools are so salty that even submarines float on their surface. Skull. Any fish or crab that falls into a brine pool becomes instantly preserved due to the high salt levels. Water wave. The Gulf of Mexico has some of the most famous brine pools, nicknamed Jacuzzi of Despair and the Hot Tub of Death. Rocket scientists believe alien life could exist in brine-like lakes on other planets and moons. Conclusion: the mysterious and deadly lakes of the deep. Brine pools are some of the most fascinating and dangerous places on Earth. These deep-sea lakes, filled with toxic and ultra-salty water, are deadly to most creatures, but some extreme life forms have found ways to survive. Water wave. What we learned. White heavy checkmark. Brine pools are separate lakes on the ocean floor with super salty water. White heavy checkmark. They are toxic due to high salt levels, lack of oxygen, and dangerous gases. White heavy checkmark. Most marine creatures die if they enter a brine pool, but some microbes, crabs, and worms can survive. White heavy checkmark. Scientists study brine pools to learn about the origins of life, space exploration, and climate change. So, the next time you think of mysteries hidden beneath the sea, remember, deep below the ocean's surface, deadly lakes exist where almost nothing can survive. Water wave skull.